This is
What?
Hard to swallow.
Gross.
She should have put him back on the rack.
You cannot talk to me.
On the second lead vocals to the
Hi, swallowers. Welcome back to Hard to Swallow podcast. I'm your host, Emery Lavelle J, on Instagram and Twitter as Ain't I Emery. And of course, I'm always joined here with some Negroes I motherfucking know.
Ooh.
Joining me now is Lyrical Mar on Instagram and Twitter as Lyrical Mar.
Greetings from Mars.
Yeah.
And also joining me is my lady, Lindsay Wagner on Instagram and Twitter as Linz Wags.
Hello, everyone. We're so glad to be back.
I know, right? It's been a minute.
Hey, doll.
Mm-hmm.
How's everybody holding up in this lovely month of May?
Well, I'm enjoying the weather.
Are you getting your flowers?
Yes.
I am. And I'm
After
taking
those Aries showers in April.
my allergy medicine. Everything is just fine. I can give me as many flowers as possible.
Yeah.
Well, you should be getting your flowers because you out here dropping music videos and shit.
Yes.
This is true.
Always have, always will be the law. Let me tell you something. I slay and I will not fall. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
Ooh, well,
Yes.
listen, just go to my YouTube channel.
Yes.
Okay, watch it,
Definitely
y'all.
go to the YouTube
Excellent.
channel. Tell us where to find it and tell us about the video and how it was
Yes.
unit.
Tell us
shoot.
everything.
Well, I will comment under this video so you can see my YouTube page. And please subscribe. Please.
If you ain't subscribing, what the hell are you doing then?
Okay.
Yes, because there's going to be more of this.
Yeah.
And comment and like it.
Yeah, please. Thank you. But it was really a smooth video to make. I mean, we knew what we wanted to do. We worked with a muralist, and Aaron, the director, is amazing with green screen work. So they just created this little, area of mine, my red city, if you will. And, they played with it, blew it up on green screen. It's great. I love anything, that makes me feel like I have to keep looking at the video to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this video does for me. I love it. I'm so grateful. The dancers were amazing. They're super young, 20, 21, 22. I love it. I love the youth. They know what it gives, and and I also work with the youth that has an appreciation for Janet Jackson, because it's not the kind of youth that doesn't have an appreciation about Janet Jackson, because those youth, they're probably, well, I won't say that, but let's just say everyone doesn't have taste. And actually, taste, it doesn't have an age.
No.
So, the young ones that know and live for Janet, good for you. The ones that don't, you're sadly mistaken and you won't succeed.
Sorry.
So in that moment, I was just so excited to, get their ideas and work with them. And, I'm an old bitch, so I live for it all. And been getting great responses to it. I love it. And yeah, that's it.
Yes.
It was great.
Well, you have a lot to be proud of. The finished product is amazing.
Amazing. We're so
You're
proud.
definitely in your red era.
Thanks, doll.
Yes.
And I know Emery has a really stern eye when it comes to editing, and
I may be a little hypercritical. That's a
Bitch.
tad.
But bitches in the ballroom scene, they already built from that. They're already built like that, except for you know who. But
Goodbye.
but no, I'm really pleased with this one. I love music videos, so I never want to do anything that's not like quality, like you know who.
Have a nice fucking day.
So I'm really glad that on my peer. Oh, you know what one of my dancers said to me? He said, "Did you tell Janet you just released the video?" That's how young people think, right?
Yes.
And I'm old talking about. I said something else to her, but didn't say that. What is going on with me? But I do feel like I'm going to come in contact with her again, and so I'll let you introduce this segment because it is a segment.
Yeah.
Well, you were talking about Janet, so I had to pull up the fact that you saw her at the Together Again tour. How was that seeing your mother?
I was talking about Janet in the first place because when it comes to choreography,
Yes.
she's the black print. Okay.
Yes.
So y'all want they say Michael's the blueprint, Janet's the black print. She showed the girls how to be sexy with choreography. I'm not talking about Tina Turner for choreography. I'm talking about Janet Jackson choreography.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so yeah, I went to go see her Together Again tour in Bristol, Virginia. It's one of those places it's an outdoor venue.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's seats, and then behind that there's a whole grassy knoll, and the girls can pay to be on the grassy knoll, and they just set up a picnic, and they set up any type of grill concoction or any type of table, lawn chairs. I mean, I was really losing it. I had never seen anything like that. But there were so many people there. Sold out show, of course. Third row center, me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I got the meet and greet package. So, I knew that I was going to, meet her and take a picture. So that's what that picture was. Me at the show. And, I mean, the show was incredible. I mean, mind you, Janet will be 57 in a few days.
Oh, my God.
So if you look at the Whitney Houston smile. So if you go to my Instagram page, you will see a reel where I captured, I mean, she was doing so much for almost 57 years old. You girls don't understand. And when I say this, I'm talking to myself. Like, you have got to put in the work. The work ethic that this woman puts in is incredible. And even though she's probably to the point of her career where she's giving Sweetie, I only practice for 3 or 4 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to be with my son. I mean, it's just, for 57 years old. I mean, it's just, even for any age. But 57 years old, come on, you bitches are lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just enjoyed the show so much. I was emotional before the show, so I didn't cry during the show. Or when I saw her, I cried in my Uber on the way to meet with my friend Charles to go to the show. I cried there because I'm like, this is about to be something. So if you haven't seen Janet live, go do it, because the stamina.
So the tour was a 5 out of 5.
Oh, they rearranged. They made a lot of her songs modern. Mm-hmm. They did this fashion scene. It was fabulous. All the dancers are cute. Mm-hmm. Multicultural. I love it. In Valentino.
Yes.
Bitch. So yeah. So since my birthday, I won't say my age, but since my birthday, everything's really been, going well.
Listen, I love to see.
And I'm dropping a song for Pride.
Yeah.
And this song, I'm not playing with these girls or y'all girls anymore. I'm not playing with y'all. It's about to be real aggressive. So,
Aggressive.
Well, yeah.
You will look out for new music, swallowers.
Yes.
During gay pride. Okay.
Yes. Pride is gonna be filled with a lot of gay shit. I see that. What is it? Queen of the Universe, the singing competition is coming back June 2nd.
Yes.
Then we have All Stars 8, I believe, starting the end of May.
Yes. We also have what is it? Drag Us to Dinner or whatever.
Drag Us to Dinner.
Or whatever it is.
Yes, Drag Us to Dinner is coming out the last day of May, I believe, as well. So we got a lot of gay shit, and I need all of it.
I want it all.
I want it all.
Well, yeah.
We're gonna get it all.
And swallowers, you're gonna hear from me first. If you would like to go to DragCon, I will be giving out a free ticket for admissions on Friday and Saturday. If you are watching the show, I will be releasing details on how you can win a chance to go to DragCon for free.
Well, you might as well choose a bitch that lives in LA because DragCon is this weekend.
It's this weekend. So if you are in LA or on the West Coast,
right?
Yes, if you're in LA on the West Coast or on the Gulf Coast, and you are just a traveling asshole,
because we ain't paying for your flight.
We ain't paying for your flight.
I don't care how you get there, but get here
we
if
don't
you can.
offer a package.
Absolutely.
Not that package.
Oh no. But if your one of your good girlfriends got a what is it? Not even the buddy pass. It's the other one.
What points?
It's one pass.
If these girls don't flood your inbox for this ticket, I know somebody who you can give it to.
I know a bitch I can give it to right now that would love it. But I'm offering it to you, my swallowers.
Well, let's see how they act. Now hurry
Let's see
up.
how y'all act.
Hurry
There
up.
will be some requirements and stipulations.
Ooh.
Look out for the details. And it's my love to you, swallowers. All right.
Yeah.
Mwah. So a few announcements. I do want to give a little shout out to Preston Mitchum Garcon, who's on Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. Already. Yeah.
Preston.
Give it to him.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, he is an accomplished lawyer and advocate, but he has been on the show already showing his amazing personality and showing how shady and witty he can be. And I've already seen the articles enjoying his commentary. So if you are not watching, please tune in.
He done already gave the people food for thought. I am so happy he is on this platform. Just reframe, just the fact that during a casual dinner he was able to reframe something like Black excellence and actually say out loud what I've actually have been thinking for some time now. Like, I don't particularly use the term. I don't think I've ever used the term really, and if I have, it was very sparingly. Because his thing is, it's rooted in standards, created by white people. The measurement of excellence is in, white patriarchal shit, what the white patriarchy considers excellent. His version of Black excellence is just, Black people being themselves and
Black joy
over adversity. He cited his mother, who was a young mom who had 3 children, did what she had to do, took care of her kids. That's excellent. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, and when they show the videos of the beautiful children over in Africa dancing, that's black excellence. And
We've been excellence. Let me tell you something.
when
We
you
have been.
show
We,
it's a lot of black excellence on a rich level, on every level. So my thing is, if you use it, if you only using it for one particular type of black person, then yeah. But
That's yeah.
yeah, because the word, like, he was just getting annoyed because the term was being thrown around because they were at the vineyard and what that represents. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I told y'all a couple of episodes back about the black bourgeoisie, how it is alive and well, and Martha's Vineyard is definitely a part of that. Oak Bluffs in particular. So yeah, and I think he just, stopped at everyone at the table when that phrase kept being thrown out. And he was like, let me just school y'all for a second. And it wasn't the first time it happened. I think it will be happening more because as we all know, Preston is very opinionated
Mm-hmm.
and we love him for it. And I'm just happy to
But also very well studied, and he
see.
knows what he's talking about.
Absolutely. I dare one of them to go because he is TTG trained to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even just adding to that, I've grown tired, exasperated with that term specifically being used to just really, it's more rooted in classism than it
Yeah.
is about actual black excellence. So think a little deeper, y'all.
Yeah.
Think a
Black
little deeper.
excellence is really just who we are. We are excellent by nature,
By nature, by being who you are,
the pulse of
living,
a
thriving,
culture.
existing.
That's it.
That's
End of
it.
story.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, another shout out. Well, not even a shout out. This is more of an announcement. So, those who may have seen, I did attend and cover the red carpet at the IM Awards in DC
Yeah.
a few weeks ago at the Grand Hyatt. Um, got to meet a few people, Nico Annan, the cast of Noah's Ark, and also Miss Elise. I forgot her first name, but she's also from the cast of P Valley. Greg Mathis,
Yeah.
Judge Mathis's son, along with a few other people. It was a great event. But you know what one of my highlights was? Because it was the most random thing and most random person I ever expected to see at an event like this. It was very popular content creator, Fat Rabbit Killer. Those who don't know who that
Honey.
is. Who those who don't know who that is? He is a very popular Twitter content creator on OnlyFans who's making a shit ton of money and with 10 inches to match. Yes, he's gay. Yes, he's black. Yes, he be dicking people down. And he was there. I'm not gonna say whose arm he was on. But
In my dream, all ask me, you and me.
they look like Fat Rabbit Killer has a nice clientele base. But outside of that, I was shocked to see him. As soon as I saw his face, I was like, I know that ain't. I mean, the very first second I saw, I was like, that's him.
Remember love.
But anyway, I spoke to him and we agreed to do an interview. So I will be following up and look out for those details.
Let's see if it come out.
Let's see if I push it out.
Oh.
Also, there we got to see. I was alive. It was live. I got to hear the announcement about Noah's Ark coming back. It's old
Yes.
news now, but I just want to know what you all think about and how did you feel when you heard the news about Noah's Ark TV show coming back?
Nah.
God damn.
Marcus.
Well, how about you, Lindsay?
Okay.
Is that better?
No. Actually,
Yo!
okay. I have mixed thoughts about it. No, actually, I'm elated because it's a win. Patrick Ian Polk, was greenlit at a time where on TV where Black queer stories were not centered, especially Black queer men. So, he's
The
definitely.
question is coming back. The
I
question
know,
was,
and I want to.
get to it. Get to it.
I needed to preface it. Anywho, it was important to the culture then, and I'm curious to see how they would, continue the story, especially for them being at this age. And listen, it's opening the door. I'm writing some gay shit now in a completely different voice and completely different subject matter than what Noah's Ark tackled, but it's a win.
It was nice to see them there. Were they nice? How were they?
Oh my God! Patrick Ian. It was really well. Let's provide context, just like Lindsay did. Do you saw people when I was a young queer man? I always say this. That was the only show that I got to see people that look like me. So this show came out in 2005. I was in 7th grade when this fucking show came out. So and then I think even the movie came out in maybe 2008, 9, maybe. I just remember being really young. So it was definitely I was waiting for this moment. I actually saw Jensen at the last awards the year before. And we didn't get to speak then, and we barely spoke this time. But I got to speak more with the rest of the cast, and they were very warm. They were very warm. I had the greatest conversation with Christian, who plays Ricky on the show, and to me, that made it the most worthwhile. And let me also give a shout out to Patrick Ian because he ended up following me on both Twitter and Instagram, and liking posts, and that was very special to me. And hopefully, if there's ever any castings being released, I'm going to speak it into the universe. I will be auditioning.
When I dream.
But to add to my commentary about my thoughts about the show coming back, because unless you were not finished, Lindsay.
No,
Do you have more to add?
He was finished.
First of all, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing it. We're not doing that. Okay, we're not gonna
do it. We're gonna do it. Okay, no, yeah, please.
No, because she's long-winded.
It's important. You better leave me the hell alone. It was important then. I think it would be important now, especially with the age that they are now. They're older. Let's see what the story gives. I'm curious.
Okay, so yeah, same for me. Well, let me also preface with the fact that there still has not been another show like this to this day. There has not been another show with a Black and brown majority principal cast of gay men at the forefront. The closest we've had even come is Pose, but of course, I love the fact that we've gotten a show with Black and brown trans women to have their moment
Right.
as well. But there has not been another show with a black and brown gay male cast
Mainstream
in
show. No,
mainstream
it was the
network
first of its
television.
kind,
Yes.
and hopefully it will pave the way for others to really come in and
Absolutely. And the fact that they're returning back to network television and they still have that title is almost kind of crazy to me. We're talking almost 18 years later.
yeah,
That's kind of wild to me. But of course, there's been a myriad of like web series still kind of using that show as like the template, the blueprint for everything to come after, right? But I would love to see how they
yeah.
modernize, well, along with other shows like Looking and Queer as
Sex in
Folk.
the
But
City,
yeah, I mean, there's other
Well,
templates as well.
which
But
took from Living Single and Golden Girls.
yeah, and that
absolutely,
was more
but
like Sex in the City, Living Single. I don't know, and Queer as Folk. Yeah,
there's
yeah.
other ones. But again, there still has not been one with that black gay dynamic between
Hopefully,
cast. Topics centering our issues and concerns in
yeah.
life. But I want to see with now the new budget, because remember back then it was on logo, so there was a limited funding. With this new budget, with modernizing the show, with the new everything that these guys have learned then, because they were new actors when the show came out. Also,
Absolutely.
you got to keep all this in mind. So it's like new writing ability, new acting ability, new funding. How is all of this going to shape what we can have today? So I'm curious to see what that looks like, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the hot topic. So
Mm.
I don't know if this is really hot, but can't think our gay ass is not going to talk about the motherfucking Met Gala. We got to talk about the Met Gala. So, okay, I know all of you all have seen the looks at this point, probably.
Mhm.
So, we are going to tell you our top 5 best dress from the Met Gala. Lindsay, would you like to start off?
Um. Yeah. Well, does this have to be? Well, in no particular order.
No particular order. Okay. Yeah, same for
Um.
me.
I'm gonna say Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, that's one. Um. The beautiful Tiana Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Pope.
Mm-hmm. Over Kate.
Um. Whoo, my last
It
two.
gets tough, right?
Yes, because I have so many.
It was
But
about, yeah.
I have to say, um, Belcalice's second look, her Carl look, was
Mm-hmm.
over for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go with the model Sora Choi for number
Yeah.
5.
Love to see it. All right, Lyrical Martyr, you have the 5. Give me the 5. Give me the 5.
Yes,
I want the 5.
I'm gonna go for fashionable, not stylish fashion. Janelle
Oh,
Monáe. Janelle
Oh.
Monáe, someone who knows fashion, is not dressed by a stylist. Janelle Monáe. That's my number 1.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is Rihanna.
Rihanna.
And y'all know why. There's no need to to explain.
Rihanna.
On a young tip and on a modern tip, I'm gonna go for Miss Kendall Finn Jenner.
Oh.
Shut up.
Stunning, over, young, dramatic, modern, fashion.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3. Now let's get into the men. this is crazy because y'all know I live for Alton Mason.
Yes.
But I can't put Alton Mason, and I gotta give it to whoever this is.
Oh, his name is Conan Gray.
Yes.
Conan motherfucking Gray.
Woo. Fat. Oh.
And you want to know why I know who that is? Because he's in mine.
Him, I gotta give it to him, and then I gotta also listen. The Choi woman you said.
Yes, Sora Choi.
Over, but I'm not choosing her because Lindsay chose her, and I'm gonna give some light to other people.
Yeah.
And then I want to go with Bad Bunny.
Over, yeah.
I'm gonna go with Bad Bunny. You know what I'm saying? There's something simplistic about this that's very dramatic, and if you can be simplistic and dramatic in one, and in these white roses, I'm into that. So
I love that the guys were doing butch queen looks, you know, like very, I don't know, they were doing very
well, Bad Bunny's a butch queen. Bad Bunny
is ruffles and roses and thing lace and things. I love it.
I'm into all that. It's sexy as shit.
It's beautiful seeing it.
Those are my 5.
Yes, I love them.
I love it. So I guess I'll get the ones we've already said out of the way then. Sora Choi is my absolute number one.
Okay.
For me.
In Tom Brown.
Yeah.
Yes. The assignment was done.
Yeah.
Then second for me is Janelle Monáe. But let me tell you, they fought down for my top 2. And it came down to the last vote at the judges panel.
Right.
And Janelle Monáe looked motherfucking over.
Score her, judges score her.
And I'm gonna tell you something. The only reason, I guess I'm speaking for you.
Yeah.
But if I was on that panel, I would have voted for Choi over Janelle because even though Choi wasn't on my list, if I had to vote, I wanted Janelle to stay in her look. I didn't want her to get in that bikini and start stripping.
Yeah, she didn't need to do that.
She didn't need to do that. Keep that shit on and battle these girls because that's it. But she's still on my top 5 over Choi because to me, I guess the reason why I didn't put her in my top. Sorry to interrupt you. I guess the only reason I didn't put her in my top 5 is because I had seen that look on Tom Brown's show, so I wasn't blown away. He already put it on his show, so I was like, okay, she wore that dress from the show. But other designers made a dress specifically for Met Gala that was not in their collection, so that was it. But she was over, stunning, A+, top of the night. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that needs to be said.
Yeah.
And then I guess adding for me, obviously Rihanna's on my list as well. Conan Gray, that like you said, to me, I'm thinking about what I would wear. That's me as a butch queen, right there, from the fan on down. Yes. And this one is gonna throw y'all for a loop. Y'all gonna be like, "Girl, why?" But I really liked Ashley Graham's dress.
I didn't see it.
Put it up to the camera.
Y'all going? I'm a drag queen, so it gave me drag queen.
Let me see that shit. I like Ashley Graham, honey.
I feel like she deserves to be mentioned.
She's very pretty.
There were better looks, but she did it for me. Hold on. She had on this.
Oh yes, it's so feminine. It's beautiful.
The fucking details.
She look over.
She look motherfucking over. Let me tell you something.
Beautiful.
Let me tell you something. The Femme Queens.
Oh,
listen, Femme Queens. Listen. This is what I want to see. Not me, but the girl.
Yes.
Look at the way she looks. That hair.
The hair.
The hair. I love everything about it.
Actually, she's a little bit spicy.
I know.
Every time
Yeah.
I see her, she's got like a little
little bit
urban
of-
thing going on with her sometimes.
I love everything
I
about
said,
it.
work, Ashley.
But I do have to give a special shout out. Of course, I love Jeremy Pope, but
That's shade.
she's not in my top 5. But I do want to give a shout out to Dua Lipa because it was such a simple look, but she
Girl,
made me
you
know
keep,
it.
I remember that night you said something about Dua Lipa. I'm like, okay, fine. But I mean, what y'all putting her in there for? Like, I mean,
She ain't. It's not top 5, but it was something to me.
There's a few I really love. Like, I love Kim's look. I love Anne Hathaway.
Kim
and
who?
Hathaway.
Hathaway look
Oh, yeah,
motherfucking
Anne
over.
Hathaway. Oh, yes.
Anne
Cara
Hathaway look
Delevingne loved
motherfucking
it.
over.
Kim who?
Kim Kardashian.
Oh,
darling.
Kim.
I
Wait a minute.
loved it.
Don't say it like that. I just forgot.
The Kim K.
I love Kim K. You know that.
Paparelli.
You know that.
Listen, she looked good.
Okay.
Good.
The person that I am, I'm not even supposed to like Kim Kardashian, but I can't even hate on Kim Kardashian. If I can't hate on Kim Kardashian, you girls certainly can. That's all I gotta say. Because Kim Kardashian is over, okay?
She is.
And she's still doing it. You know what I mean? Even though Kylie took over, Kim is still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the girls did a good job for this Met Gala.
They sure
I
did.
agree.
I thought they did. It started out kind of like, I don't know. But then
A little shaky.
the girls started to show out.
Yes.
I was
think they did.
a little underwhelmed with Zendaya's look.
I know.
I mean, she looked good.
She
But
was there? I didn't even.
Ooh. No, I know, and Zendaya always. She's actually.
But is it a coincidence that one Law Roach just retired?
Yeah. But he said he was still going to be like, in terms of her looks, he was going to be creative director. But I don't know. Maybe it's lost its punch now that he's not the driving force behind it. You know what I mean?
I hope not.
I hope not either.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to seeing her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and one person that was missing was Erykah Badu, in my opinion.
I would have loved to see that.
Where the fuck was she?
At home.
She gets invited to that?
At home paying
At
it.
home.
Okay, well, that's enough about that.
Doing laundry.
Bye.
Washing her head wraps.
You don't wear those anymore, sweetie.
I'm sorry. She wears
big
huge
hats.
ass hats.
Yes.
With sometimes a head wrap and scarf under it.
Some the pilgrim hat.
Yes.
York Criminal Court on Tuesday for a status conference.
So I guess we should address Jonathan Majors. Oh, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Man, these motherfucking allegations about him abusing women, I couldn't have saw this coming. When I ain't never seen somebody fall so motherfucking
Baby,
far out the sky, so high out the sky.
he came in the front and fell out the back.
Woo!
Cat.
Yeah.
Man. Now to be clear, he just was in court on May 9th and nothing really came of it. There aren't even though more women have come forward going with the claims that he's been abusive, there are no new charges from what I've read, according to a Hollywood
This is
report.
insane. This is like, and y'all can't blame that on Black women, honey. They can't all be wrong. This is what y'all need to understand.
His lawyer is calling it a witch hunt.
Aw.
Right now, there are no new charges again, and then they also are stating that there are text messages to go with Jonathan Major's claim that it's all a lie.
Okay, we'll show.
Let's see how this plays out in court. The next court case is in June. And
What about his movie? Is that coming out still? Ant-Man or whatever it is?
so one got scrapped, but that one was not in the production yet. It was
Yeah,
in the work.
he has a major Marvel movie coming out.
That one, so he had two projects with Disney. The one you're talking about with Marvel. There was another project with Disney. That one got scrapped altogether. His talent agency dropped him, and his PR company dropped him. Baby. Now Marvel has not said a goddamn thing.
Oh, because
But here's why if I had to guess, here's why. He literally has just become the main fucking villain of several movies to come. If he if they gotta replace him, that is gonna cost them a shit ton of fucking money. It's gonna fuck up a lot. So I do understand why they're not saying anything, but some people have been pushing for Marvel to say something now. But many other I've seen others say, let's see how it plays out in court, and it's innocent until proven guilty. Should we stick with that claim? Now he was supposed to be at the Met Gala, by the way. And the brand that was dressing him, they said, sit this one out, baby. Don't go. He's getting dropped by a lot of people, but the main one that people are really curious about is what Marvel is going to do.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Listen, I really don't know. I just don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what to say.
All I will say, I'll add to it is,
my thing is, how the hell did he make it this far?
They said what happened was, well, the details to me are a little murky. I'm just going to go off what I've seen reported. But apparently, the lady that reported that there was some actual marks on her neck. Like, she was choked. But the backstory to that is she's tried to steal his phone. And then there's claims that he broke up with her. I don't know. And allegedly, there are text messages of her saying, "That's all on me. They have to arrest you because I think New York City law is that if like that's their protocol, they have to do an arrest, and that's why he was arrested." But apparently, there's been no charges. New charges, rather. So anyway, let's see how that plays out.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
It's not much that we can say.
Nope.
It's very disappointing, though.
It sure is. He's promising young talent. Great actor. Really enjoyed him in Lovecraft Country. I was certainly rooting for him.
Yeah.
I loved him in Lovecraft Country.
So, yeah.
I enjoyed him in, he was in, oh my God, Loki. I think he was in
Yes.
Loki. So that was kind of like opening the multiverse storyline.
That should be coming back soon, right?
I don't know. They're probably going to do another series, TV
I
series.
think they're doing another one, yes. And I read about it, but I don't know when it's coming back.
I gotta look at the timeline of the releases again, but
that was my show.
He has really shown a lot of range as an actor.
Absolutely.
So I would be really disappointed if these things are true. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So I guess briefly we do have to talk about Chris Brown and Usher too. Because there's claims that Chris Brown was berating Tiana Taylor, and Usher got involved to try to break it up. And then Chris Brown's crew, not Chris Brown himself, allegedly the crew jumped Usher, and yeah.
Well, I think only Hollywood Unlocked is the one who put this out there via
Yes.
Jason Lee. So in that moment, we really don't know if they got into an altercation or not. Now I do know I've seen a video of him cussing towards.
But it was not clear who he was talking to. Chris Brown's claim is that it was crowded and security were everywhere, and his daughter was in the back in the back of the stage, and that is where his anger was stemmed from. I still don't really
I
understand.
saw Tiana Taylor over there in that video, and then I saw him talking in her direction. And my thing is, I believe that there was something going on with those three, but we don't know about the jumping part because he was talking to her, and she was paying it. And if it's the truth that, you know, I don't think Tiana's that girl. Like, she would have been getting buck with all them too.
Well, I don't think her boyfriend was there.
Well, I'm just saying that, you know,
Husband.
well, I don't think she needs her husband to speak up for herself.
Well, she doesn't. Yeah, but with the level of aggression that he's probably showing, maybe she didn't feel comfortable to react.
There was also
This is also a man with a history of violence towards Black women and women in general. So,
well, there was also something saying that, you know, he was upset that she was at his birthday party.
allegedly, yes.
Allegedly, because she dropped out of the Michael Jackson performance, which nobody knew why that performance was canceled until allegedly we found out.
Right. Now, Usher also went live on social media, like at Lovers and Friends Festival, with no marks on his face. I guess that was his way of, to shut down some of the allegations.
And I feel like he never goes live. But again, this was from Jason Lee. I mean, Jason Lee is,
oh, we know.
You know.
Okay.
No, it goes way beyond that.
I know. I'm fucking.
She's a fucking. I want to give it a word. So, Lindsay, go ahead and speak your piece because I'm thinking of a good word for her.
Well, I don't know. We don't know exactly what happened. I
We
don't
don't know.
This is what I'm just gonna remain mum. Stop bothering that man.
I'm not even gonna say what I would think if it was true.
Nope, I'm gonna leave it alone.
I'm gonna leave it alone. But I want everybody to pay attention.
Yes, it's just speculation, but there is a pattern emerging, honey. Yeah.
And you know what they say about patterns? There are no coincidences.
None.
All right. You want to talk about your favorite Virgos?
Child.
Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Okay. So Ebony K. Williams brought Iyanla on her show, and they were actually discussing masculine and feminine energy, dating too. And the question came up. Iyanla asked her, would she date a bus driver? And it has social media motherfucking divided. I was like, this is really blowing up. which also led to two subsequent Breakfast Club interviews, I believe, too. Well, Ebony K. Williams went on the Breakfast Club afterwards to defend her point and stance. What did you all think of this little interview, little segment?
Well, let me talk first because I feel like it applies to Lindsay more. She first of all, I don't. You know how I feel about Ayanna.
Mm-hmm.
I love her, but she backed. First of all, she backed Ebony into a corner. Let's be honest. A lot of people say they would do something, but if they were given a certain type of love, would do something else. We know that. We know that from experience. We know that from seeing people do it every day. But when you ask someone, would they do something? They have to make a decision right there. It's given no, I would not. Or yes, I would date him if he also. Listen, I'm not judging her because of her answer. And Ayanna shouldn't either. Because she's a piece of work too. And you know that she has her stipulations about men. Are you kidding me? It all doesn't come down to, oh my God, is this person a good person? Listen, Black women, they always want to give a reason for why a Black woman needs to, oh, you aiming too high, or you putting down this person because you want this. It's giving no. Women marry men for other reasons all the time because guess what? Women know how men are. Let's be honest. They know how they are. And if they won't say it, I will because I'm a gay man and it doesn't matter. They're not going to be mad at me because they know it's true. So if there are Black women out there who want to marry a particular type of man who's accomplished, who has money, who can take care of her, then so be it. Because every other bitch on this earth in every other race does it too. And we as Black people have this thing about judging other Black people for when they have higher expectations, and then they will say, oh, you're being elitist. Listen, it's fine. People have been elitist forever. It's not going to change. They have expectations. You don't. Date the bus driver. She's not using it. And you're judging her for not using it. You're jealous. I'm done. I'm not judging her. I'm not saying she's not problematic. But my thing is, Ayanna, why did you have to ask her that question? You backing this Black woman into a corner, asking her, will she date a bus driver?
Let me take it back to what led to the question. So Ebony asked her, basically, like, based on what the dating pool looks like, how should women position themselves with men not really matching what women are making money wise, not having the same job titles or like same level in their being in the same level in their careers, and also what was the other thing that she said? And not really entering leadership capacities. How should women position themselves in dating? With in her eyes, men not being up to the same standards. Yeah. I guess basically her point was she feel like a lot of women are doing all the work, making this type of money, having all of these jobs, and men, their expectations are lower.
And they have been for a long time. Black women have been taking care of the household for a long time. So my thing to Ayanna is, why are you doing this? Like, she can have her own preference. You have your own preference too, honey. So what, you gonna aim for the bus driver? No, you're not dating the bus driver either.
She said that she would.
We don't know if she would or not.
Well, there were stipulations on why she would. But
Ayanna's full of shit. Ayanna's full of shit tonight.
Is that true? Is that true for you?
Not at all.
No, yes, no. I guess
she's not full of shit.
No, not at all. There was the first of all just that snippet was actually just used for clickbait. I would urge everyone to
watch the full interview.
Watch the full interview with Ayanna and Ebony because it was enlightening. It was lovely to see two Black women who started off on slightly opposing sides because Ebony had actually heard Iyanla on another show saying that
Something
women
that
these
roused her
movies
up.
are about like
Mm-hmm.
really like men in skirts. So she wanted to give Iyanla the opportunity to come on the show and discuss what she meant by that. And there were a ton of gems in that interview. She was talking about women really being able to tap into their feminine power, and we're not allowed to because everything, because we have more schooling, because of all these statistical things, we are approaching life from a more masculine view. Power, control, justice. And her thing is tapping into your feminine power means having dominion, being assertive rather than aggressive. There was a lot of interesting things that she said that resonated with Ebony, and Ebony actually agreed with her, even with the bus driver comment. Because Iyanla's main point, when she asked that question about how can we approach dating, she said you have to think about the measurement, like how we measure men in these days and times, and it might not fit because there is this thing with men. If they do too much of a thing, they're judged for that. I forgot the way she framed it, but it was so eloquent, and Ebony had no choice but to sit in that and think about the possibility of approaching how she deals with men, how she speaks to men in a different way, because that's really what Iyanla was talking about. Like, she was saying how women, we're demeaning to men because of all this masculine energy we'd have to expel because of what's happening around us, because we don't lead with grace or compassion. And that is really the bigger picture that she was trying to frame there with the bus driver situation. She wasn't making a judgment. She really wasn't. If you look at the entire interview, they were good.
Yeah.
When it made a wrong turn, is Ebony going on her podcast, Holding Court. Even the title of it said, "Hell no, I ain't dating no bus driver unless he owns something." Whatever.
And that's when my point comes in. To be asking her specifically your answer, to me, it was putting her on the spot. And
No,
she didn't need to. She could have just said what she needed to say without including Ebony. Yes, she could have.
I'd urge you to watch the interview before making
a lot of times when Black women lead with grace and all that shit, they get fucked over.
Not necessarily.
Okay, but listen,
I'd urge you to
watch. It doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't work for everybody.
I'd urge you to watch the interview because that was the whole point of her being on the show.
Guess what? I'm very familiar with Iyanla. I'm very familiar with what she said.
But with this specific nuanced conversation, it would behoove you to watch the entire interview.
So are you surprised that Ebony felt like
they actually were in concert at the end of the interview?
Afterwards.
During the whole interview, it was a very lovely conversation.
No, but she didn't like.
And Ebony told Iyanla to check her because she's trying to figure out how to go about doing things differently. Because her thing has always been a man is supposed to provide and protect, and she said she has never come
After.
into contact with a man that has provided or protected against, like, across the spectrum, race-wise, age-wise, anything-wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's provided the protection and she's made provisions for herself.
Correct.
So Iyanla's thing, I just urge everybody to watch that.
So she
Where
wasn't
it took
bothered
a
by
left
the
turn was when Ebony went on her podcast.
And
And
that's what I
seeming,
keep asking. That's what I keep asking, but you won't stop talking, so I can ask you one question. What I'm saying is, did it feel like she was bothered by Ayanla asking her that? Yes or no?
No, she wasn't.
no,
She
she
answered that.
wasn't.
No, by the end, it
was
ended
bothered.
peacefully.
No, she was not. Once again, I would advise you should have watched the entire interview, because you're making a blanket statement, and that's the whole point. By the time she got to the Breakfast Club, this blurb was out there for sensationalism purposes, and the whole idea behind why she had Iyanla was on the show was absolutely lost. It's a beautiful conversation. It took a left turn when Ebony went on her, because Ebony went on her podcast to respond to all the backlash she got, because that blurb went out and then people started rushing to judgment without watching the entire interview.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. So then she's slightly on the defensive. And in my estimation, she came off classist, in tone,
Mm-hmm.
elitist in tone. Even the title of the fucking pod, hell no, I ain't dating no bus driver.
And so now you doubling down, even
So
though
now you're doubling down on that, which is fine, because Ebony is a successful, beautiful, accomplished woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she is within her right. And Iyanla didn't ask anyone except her that question.
She knew what she was doing. Just like
I'm going to say again,
just like her
always
show.
great to be informed before making an assessment. That's why I watched the entire interview.
She had a show that was revolving around
I also listened to
She had a whole show revolving
the
around
Breakfast Club
clickbait.
interview, and I
She knows
also
about
listened
clickbait.
to Holding Court.
She knows about clickbait, and that's why she asked her the question.
That's not wrong. But anyway,
she had a whole show that revolved around clickbait.
That's not it. But anyway.
But so
but anyway, like I said, it took a left turn when she was doubling down, and then it just became, she said her legacy, the legacy of her family is about ownership, and that's what she was taught, and that's what she was alluding to. She wasn't belittling anybody. She wasn't talking about, she did introduce the idea of mediocrity, the average man, that sort of thing, and which I took it to mean, y'all still can't date me.
That's exactly
and it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'm not knocking her for that. It is what it fucking is.
It's like what Iyanla said. It's not wrong or right.
Absolutely.
She said it's obsolete.
Absolutely.
But it's not wrong or right.
The measure is obsolete. But the thing about it is, like, the only issue I took with her is that slight tone, because y'all had said these horrible things about her and she was addressing it on her podcast, and then feelings got hurt. You know, she addressed things like mediocrity and, you know, that sort of thing, and sort of relegating it to average people doing average things, or what have you.
To be clear on the denotation of the word.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I really don't think she was demonizing anybody or one particular thing, but it just got out of hand. And then it became a broader conversation about you know, Black people collectively as a whole and where we're going. She did make a statement about people bringing home C's and D's. And I took that to mean your son bringing home C's and D's, he's only made it, you know, median income level. He doesn't get to date an Ebony. And Iyanla's thing is, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Black
Ebony,
people.
at the end of the day, Ebony is still telling black folks, y'all bus driving sons cannot fuck with me.
Listen.
Listen, black people. Y'all
And
worried about
but the thing is, I get it. Iyanla was like,
well, she's still going.
he had all these other criterion, and all of that was taken into. It's like things were taken out of context. I think Ebony got a little defensive because she was being lambasted online, but none of that takes away from what Iyanla was really trying to convey with the entire conversation. She was not trying to put Ebony she wasn't trying to pin her against the wall, because Ebony specifically asked her, what can I do?
Said the
what am I
words,
doing wrong?
I want you to check
She
me.
was seeking knowledge from a woman who she respected, and also a lawyer, an elder, someone who she obviously respects. It was a lovely conversation.
And what was interesting also, Iyanla told Ebony, like, when I'm telling you this, I'm telling you as someone that's a survivor and still healing from it. I'm talking about myself too. I've done
operated
that
in
way.
the same way. I've
Yes.
operated in the exact same way, and I had to make a shift.
Correct.
And when I made that shift in my thinking and how I dealt with people, dealt with men, using my feminine powder, my innate divination for something greater than myself, a world of possibilities opened up, and Ebony appreciated that. It wasn't until she got the clickbait happened, she got lambasted online, then she went on her podcast and she had to just essentially talk her shit, because so many people were talking shit.
Right. And then that's what happened. But
absolutely. And I don't think it wasn't about somebody. It really wasn't about like asking Ebony, who's like degreed up and accomplished, to be dating somebody that's on a fucking playing Call of Duty all day. That was not what this was about. Nor was it about
black people. Y'all worried about the wrong shit. Y'all worried about the wrong motherfucking shit. Because the question is, would you date? Making it about the bus driver for me is the part where you know what you're doing. The actual saying a bus driver. There's so many ways to ask that question. You didn't ask it like that. You asked. There's so many ways to ask that question. People know what they be asking. She's a lawyer. She knows. You did it on purpose.
And she did, because Ebony asked her to. And like I said, it's so good to be informed before you start speaking on something.
Black people, y'all
because
worried about the wrong
question
shit.
that Ebony asked, that's why she followed up with that question.
That's why she followed up with that question. People didn't see that. Ebony asked her something specifically, and she just like.
But Iyanla's answer, is not the only answer.
Illustrate something to
her answer is not the only answer.
That question.
Her answer is not the only answer. That's not how everybody can go about it, because everyone doesn't get the same results going about it that way.
Everyone,
but in essence, Iyanla's point.
Please, I beg you, watch the
Black people. Y'all worried about the wrong shit. Ebony. Y'all always want to edit how each other does everything, and well, she's doing it this way, so that means she's this way. Black people.
No, untrue. Watch the interview, then make an assessment.
I'm still not going to feel differently after I watch it. I know the question that was asked.
But there are definitely some gems there.
I know Iyanla. I love her. I know what she gives. I know what she gives.
She was not doing it to be snarky, and she wasn't. Sometimes it wasn't. But you'd have to. You're not seeing it in the right context.
I know who this person is. Sometimes she does.
That has nothing to do with it.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to feel the same way, and you know I will.
And you're ill-informed.
No, and I don't listen. People can choose to be who they want to be, and they can choose to interact with whoever they want to interact with.
No one's
based off of whatever.
No one's saying they
here's
can't.
The thing. But
and neither did Iyanla.
You should have put based off of my experience, which y'all said she said, and that's fine. But the way you asked the question was a setup.
No,
And-
it was not.
Yes,
It's a follow-up
That's why you
question
need
to a question she
That's
asked.
why you need to watch it. It wasn't.
Because I walked in thinking that this is what's going to be
If
one
you're just
way.
looking at the clip, you would think
Yes.
that if
It
you
was-
within the context of the entire interview, no,
The
it was
interview
not a
gave
setup.
nothing
You know what?
like
You
that.
know what? I don't.
She
You know what? I
asked
don't
her
give a
that
shit.
to
I don't give a
illustrate
shit. I don't
something.
give a shit. Keep
We
doing it y'all's
know.
way. I don't give a shit.
We know.
I don't. Keep it going.
Anyway, I want to add to the conversation because I didn't get a chance. But there,
Well, we know
one of the
why.
interesting gems that
Well, I'm informed.
Misinformed.
No.
okay, I'm gonna mute y'all.
No.
I'm kidding. No,
No.
no. But I think
I
one of the
watched all
highlights
three
to me
interviews.
was Yana talking about the value system, and one thing that she said that stood out to me was the fact that a woman measures how she measures her own expectations for herself and how a man positions himself in society. It was something like that. Like that was important to know.
That was the entire crux of the conversation. That was the crux of it.
You measure a man's
standards
value
by
based
which
on what your
men are
expectations are
measured
for
these
yourself
days,
and how he
it doesn't
positions himself in the
match
world.
this masculine action from women. That's
Correct.
why she asked her that question. It wasn't a setup. It was to illustrate a point she had made earlier.
One point.
The
But she
most
also
important point.
highlighted some very important things, some value, some intangible things that are just as important. Does he love his mother? How does he treat you? Does he love his job? Like these are all things that I do think are important questions to ask. That it's not so black and white to say, let me go down this resume and say, bus driver, no. Now let's not even focus on
And
the
Ebony
position.
didn't even say I wouldn't date a bus driver. All
You
she
should have
said
answered this
was
stupid ass
the
question.
owner of the company.
She
He
shouldn't
got
have
to
answered
own.
stupid
She
ass
said
question.
if he owned the company.
Yeah, like if he owned the company, if he owned the bus. But there was some it was some gems in that the full interview, and I actually, because at first um for me as someone that really kind of goes with more like non-binary,
They
I
mentioned
do.
that too.
Yes, they did. And but then she also talked about how masculine and feminine energy has nothing to do with gender.
It
I
sure
appreciated
doesn't.
that. And I do also like how she talked about the difference in masculine and feminine energy. And the things she says about feminine energy, I think I can agree with. I think I definitely can agree with.
She said masculine, like masculine mind. She said justice, control, power. Feminine is like more dominion. And dominion
divinity,
is different than control.
grace, nurturing. She said
Grace,
a lot of great things.
majesty, divinity,
Creation.
the innate knowing. That's what she was talking about. She also said something interesting about feminism, which she said for her, feminism is a social construct, but empowerment of women for her means internal experience and external expression. She was talking some real shit, and Ebony had no choice in the interview but to fuck with it. That's what people are missing. If you watch the interview, Ebony was like, at the end, she's like, you gave me a couple of things to think about.
Oh no, she said something else. She said, "Let me know when you're gonna have that class." Because
Yeah, because
Yana
I think
said,
I'm curious. I need to know, like, I want to delve in more.
Yana also talked about how there are some life lessons that you are supposed to learn within certain decades in your life, in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s. And when you don't learn those lessons in that decade, now you're trying to play catch up when you get to your 30s, 40s, and 50s.
It was a powerful interview.
And she also said that she can't tell a man how to be a man, but as with her experience as a woman, she wants to have this class for women to, share her knowledge. And I was like, I like this.
It got ugly when Ebony went on her podcast because people had said
But it was because of that soundbite.
things out of context, saying
A
shit.
soundbite she knew she would get.
And then by the time she got to the Breakfast Club, it was just like an all-out assault.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that? DJ Envy. When I tell you,
too many Virgos spoil the pot. Okay, too many Virgos spoil the pot. It was one too many Virgos in this recipe, and I can't.
They all given. I said what I said.
Yeah,
they all given.
I said. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. You said bus drivers ain't shit. My daddy was a bus driver and a mechanic and da da da. She's talking about she comes from a legacy of ownership. She cited her own family, her granddaddy and her mama, and how they worked, what we would call regular jobs, blah 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 blah. But when you add words like mediocre and average, then it becomes tricky because then the tone changed. Now, on the Breakfast Club, I get what she was saying. When she was on her podcast, that's what got everybody up in arms. That's when the tone was slightly classist. It was slightly elitist. Even like I said, the title of the episode. Hell no, I ain't dating no bus driver or whatever.
Actually, can I just add a small point? So Ebony is a lawyer and a great debater. She was very selective on the words that she used to define mediocre.
Yeah.
Because Miss Thing, you're not gonna fucking tell me that mediocre only means average and common. No, it can mean not very good too.
And they told her that you could weaponize that word to make it mean something.
So stop. But in that moment, I knew, I'm like, okay, now she's trying to be manipulative. You almost had me, but you're trying to manipulate.
No, she was trying it.
Yes.
She was. And let me tell you
just like Ayanna was trying it.
Ayanna wasn't trying it. Watch the interview.
Would you date the bus driver? Kind of fucking question is that, man?
Watch the interview, something that was relevant in the moment.
Well, here's the thing about even watching the interview. As a person, if you're not choosing the person that you're with based off of how they treat you and how good they are as a person, then you're already fucked in the first place. That's what it comes down to. Whether it's a bus driver or not doesn't make any fucking difference.
Right.
That's my point. A bus driver is too pointed, and she knew what she was doing. Clickbait is what she liked.
Context and nuance.
You can still try someone when you're checking them friendly.
She asked her to check her.
Yeah, and she checked her, and she also made an example out of her. So I hope Ebony knows that. Can we move on?
She showed a great deal of empathy in that interview.
We should make this the topic of the day, actually.
Well, now that you funny
it has
say
no
that,
choice but to be the topic of
removing the part about the interview already. What do we think about dating working class people, and what do we think about dating on the basis of job title?
I think everything is relative, and nobody wants to date someone who is unmotivated, unemployed, unsuccessful. But everything is relative, and there are levels to it. She is someone who is very, very accomplished.
No, in general, not about Ebony.
Well, in general, like I said, nobody wants to date anyone or be partnered with anyone. Well, that was another thing. Yana said, you trying to date or you trying to be partnered? Or do you want to be in partnership with someone?
You can go on many dates.
You could date until you die. But the thing, no one wants to be with anyone who's unsuccessful, who, is unmotivated and, hapless.
Absolutely. I definitely don't think I'm not going to date anyone that I feel I would have to carry or
People should be able to take care of themselves. Absolutely.
Yes, but I guess the question then becomes
really?
like, many things can be true. So
I see. Motherfucking hypocrites. Well, to be clear, I would date a person without a job. If I can see the talent and the beauty in them, I know it can happen. I've done it before, and somebody's done it with me.
Mm-hmm.
I've dated someone with no one with a job. Someone's dated me without a job, and guess what? In the preference of our relationship, I end up doubling what they make when they gave me a chance, and vice versa. It goes different. It's just money. It's just what you do. It's not who you are. So in that moment, I get what you're saying. But when you corner somebody with that kind of question, I don't give a fuck who you are.
Cornering her.
Listen, it's fine. Clickbait.
We're not talking about that
I'm
anymore.
talking about.
He just want to be right, and you're misinformed. You're ill-informed.
Y'all can keep bringing up the whole. Let me talk for once. Y'all can keep bringing up the whole episode all y'all want to.
You mad because you want to be right and you're wrong.
Virgoing. But what I'm saying is, I don't have to be wrong. I don't live my life based off of what other motherfuckers think I should think. I base it off of how I see fit. And if somebody is showing me what I'm showing them in love, then I give them a chance no matter what they do. And if y'all motherfuckers aren't doing the same thing, y'all gonna be alone forever. Like some aforementioned people that we discussed tonight. Okay? And listen, you don't judge people by how they pick people unless they're only picking them for material reasons. But what I'm saying is, when y'all brought up the word clickbait, and somebody in media knows what it takes to get clickbait. She knew what she was doing. But y'all want to say, but y'all know everything, so y'all want to say, no, she didn't do it on purpose.
No, we
I don't have a comment on that because we're no longer talking about it.
Assessment.
Y'all don't know if she did it on purpose or not. That's the truth.
She was asked by Ebony to do it.
She didn't have to say it. She didn't have to say a bus driver. She didn't have to say that.
That was an example she used to illustrate a point.
Bus drivers make a lot, especially here.
Oh my God.
Well, listen, bus drivers make a lot, especially here. They're not all.
And once again, she didn't say she wouldn't date a bus driver. She said
no.
He was the owner of the bus.
What I said was not all
company.
Bus drivers. Can nobody else talk but you? What I said was all bus drivers are not mediocre. They all don't make, mediocre money. A lot of them make a lot of money, especially when they've been driving buses for a long time. It's lucrative. They have great benefits. It's a good job to have. So my thing is this: by you saying, "Would you date the bus driver?" You're actually the one perpetuating it, because bus drivers, they don't pay them a little bit of money. Any bus driver I know is always able to provide for their family.
So to your point, I actually agree with your sentiments about whether someone is unemployed or not.
You put it to one job.
That doesn't have to be something that's like a deal breaker, because absolutely sometimes, like we've all said, your aspirations and your passions and how motivated you are can overshadow the fact that
that's who you are, not what you do.
Exactly.
So to ask somebody, would you date a bus driver?
No, I'm not talking about that.
Well, I'm not talking about that. That shows who you are.
But you weren't talking anymore. I was.
No, but what I'm saying is, that's what I'm trying to say.
You said it.
But it wasn't listened to as
I heard it.
Normal. Well, listen, there's 3 people on this podcast.
We heard
there's 3 people.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is, by asking her about a bus driver, that was not right.
We taking it in.
And because y'all say it wasn't, that don't mean shit. So stop trying to make it stop trying to make it seem like my point of view has no merit because I didn't watch the whole fucking
thing.
Didn't say that.
She asked her. Yes, you did.
I said you were ill-informed.
She said that shit for quick clickbait. Why? Because I didn't watch the fucking interview. No, I heard the question she asked in any context.
Right.
Bus drivers are not all mediocre.
Well, because you're
And we all-
ill-informed,
listen,
you didn't hear it in the correct
I'm not
context.
ill-informed because I didn't see that
Content.
interview. Fuck that interview.
Yeah,
I heard the
you
question
are.
she asked. I heard the question she asked.
Well, you're now more
And it was
so
fucked up.
dealing with
And
the
it was
stuff
fucked
on
up.
Breakfast Club,
It
which
was fucked up.
it is. You're speaking to now what happened on the Breakfast Club, which I
No,
agree
I'm
with.
speaking to when she asked her that question. She knew what she was doing.
Child, you
We
can
got
circle
there.
all
We're
the way
trying to
back.
have a
Y'all done say what
conversation.
y'all wanted to say. Y'all done say what y'all wanted to say
Past
40
it. I'm trying to move
40
past
different ways
it.
too.
We're not going to agree on
Y'all
it.
just repeated the same thing 40 times too. So that means I
No,
can as
we're
well.
trying to move forward and
We're
create
trying to
No,
move
y'all
a
not.
dialogue.
No, y'all not, because y'all been talking about this for the last 20 minutes.
No, I changed the
So y'all not
subject
trying to move
twice.
forward.
I changed the subject twice. I did. I talked about the Breakfast Club, and then I also talked about in general outside of those two
Right,
things.
which I really didn't even.
Well, the Breakfast Club, you can't talk about that without talking about the initial question.
No, and then I said now we're just talking in general about dating on the basis of job title, money, and things like that.
Yeah, and I made a blanket statement that said
Correct. And I was trying to agree with you what you said about you would date someone that was unemployed because money is just money, or vice versa. And my point about that is adding and agreeing with Lindsay too. She said that there are other factors that are important, like motivation. You don't want to date somebody that's
Right.
lazy.
Just because you're unemployed doesn't mean you're not
that you're
motivated.
lazy.
But you can't break it down to a job as well. That's what I'm saying. You can't break it down to a job to say, oh, would you date a bus driver? That's a stupid ass question.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
And it was correct.
Because what does a bus driver mean?
It was a
What does that mean?
nuanced conversation.
Girl.
Yeah. So that's why I didn't want to talk about the bus driver specifically anymore.
Well, we need to, because that was the question that brought us to this place.
Listen, I'm
Y'all
definitely
keep trying to get away from the point.
As someone who works for the phone company, I know a lot about the MTA and what these dudes make. They can make really great money. I make really great money.
Yeah, they can make up to $250,000.
But there are levels.
They can do a lot.
Levels to everything. You know what I mean? And
The hell
once again, Ebony did not say, on the initial interview that she would not date a bus driver. Her answer was if he owned the company. So she didn't say, I ain't dating no bus driver. They ain't shit. She didn't say that. She said, if he owned the company, because
she titled that podcast episode.
Went on that podcast. This is the point I'm trying to drive home. It got a little crazy because they started out with her going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and as an accomplished woman, the spaces she's in, sort of intimating that she has to be with a motherfucker that's on her level.
Is that wrong?
That's why, right? And it's not necessarily wrong, but that's where it got slightly elitist and classist. But that was due to the backlash she received because of the initial interview. And it spilled over into the Breakfast Club. And then people took her to task about that, because on the podcast, it was a different energy than what she was showing with Iyanla. She wasn't giving all that to Iyanla. Iyanla, for every question that Ebony had, Iyanla was able to answer with clarity and assurance and confidence, which made Ebony take it down and step back and actually think about what she was saying to her.
Right.
That's the whole point. People are missing the whole point of the first interview. It got ugly by the time she got to the Breakfast Club.
I think we got the origin.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I know very well about that. Like, especially somebody like me who was working for the phone company. I've been making money since I was 19. Steady paycheck every week since I was 19. I didn't graduate from college, but I wasn't gonna, in my estimation, I wasn't gonna date anybody that at the time, I'd say when I was younger, I didn't want to date anyone that wasn't employed. They didn't
Mhm.
necessarily have to make a bunch of, well, I can't speak to that because I dated so many drug dealers. But
But they was making money.
maybe I'm not the right person to say that. No, but I'm just saying when I was dating, well, in my 30s, when I really thought about dating and what I wanted my partner to have, like I wanted us to be equal,
Mm-hmm.
you know, on the same level, financially, mentally, sexually, all of that. So that's what I was thinking of. And I don't think, um, I do think there is this thing with Black women that we're always asked to lower our standards. But Iyanla made a very critical point about the measurement with which men in our society, especially Black men, especially considering the, trauma post slavery and how they're treated in the world. Sometimes that measurement, the way we react to them, it's not in alignment. And that, she said, that is the disconnect. That is what people aren't getting. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily just about lambasting people who are, putting in an honest day's work, or, statistical things about women owning more houses, being more educated, the spaces that women are in now.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, we need to talk about those statistics that Ebony was talking about, because they were kind of staggering. Like 23% of households are run by single women. 80% of those women are Black women. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's how the statistic went.
Yeah.
So, Houston, we got a problem.
Black women, pick your men any way you want to.
Yeah.
And listen to someone who has successful relationships under their belt in order to determine.
I do want to also.
If you have to listen to somebody.
I do want to also point out that Iyanla's husband died. Well, let's say transition. But
She has experience. She's an older woman, and she knows of what she speaks.
I ain't talking about her.
Oh, okay. Well, she did talk a little bit about how her husband refused treatment, and whatever.
Black women, there are a lot of gems to take away from this conversation, especially the broader conversation. I think what we're missing here is we can point out some things that are harmful to our community without necessarily belittling people and occupations and what they do. We can, things can exist all at the same time.
They can.
We can also point out things that hurt, the fact that women are making strides in education. In HBCUs, I think it was pointed out that for every one Black man that attends, 2 Black women are attending.
You said something like
These
that.
statistics are not cute. And to speak, Ebony was really saying it, like, you're thinking you're gonna come home, bring home C's and D's, and like, it's all really about a skill set, right? And for some people, they don't want to expand, and they hit a ceiling with their skill set, and they're okay with that.
Stagnant.
But I think we shouldn't be okay with that. We should want to break
continue
through.
to grow.
Yes, continue to grow. Really think about things like generational wealth, because if we're having the conversation about generational wealth, generational wealth is about breaking barriers, and it is about exposing yourself to things. They also talked about people not having the proper resources, not knowing that they could break out of the confines of what one would consider, I guess, a mundane existence or an average paying job or even a low
That's
wage
a big
paying
one. That's a big one.
not having adequate resources.
Mm-hmm.
It's a broader, nuanced conversation. It transcends dating a bus driver or who Ebony K. Williams is dating or who Iyanla Van Zant would date. It's really a larger question
But this
about,
also aligns with a conversation we've had before too about dating culture and how many people lead
yes,
with what do you do for a living so soon. Um, this is why people um, don't really feel comfortable with that question and feel it does have an elitist.
absolutely, there is a judgment put
There's
upon
a
you.
judgment
There's a judgment
for
put upon you.
conversations like this where like I'm a bus driver, so
And
no,
I
I will
think,
not
You,
date.
you should be
there are
proud of. You
people,
should be proud of whatever you do. If you wait tables, you should be proud of that shit.
Agreed.
absolutely.
If
Agreed.
you, if you, if you, if you, I just happen to think that this, it's just people are just.
I saw someone on Twitter say, I can think of hundreds of better questions to ask in the first 5 minutes than what do you do for a living? Um,
Yeah,
and he said, so I don't have them with me. I wish I would have screenshot them, but they
But
were great
also,
questions.
it's just a part of who you are. I mean, it's not. It doesn't define you. So
It does not define
if
you.
you use that answer to tell you, about the person, then it's just.
It's also to remind you
It's
that you're
sad.
more than just your job title
or career
or your
or
career.
accomplishments.
You know how many people are out here? Yes, you have this job title, but that doesn't limit um, the things that you know, your knowledge. It doesn't limit your dreams, your passions. It's you know how many people out here has one job, but they doing some other shit on the side hustling. So many. So your
I
job
am.
title is just a very small aspect of who you are, how you think, what you care about. So many other things that you could
What
talk
you're
about.
passionate about.
Does your job title really even tell you really anything about who you are?
No,
A
it's
In
little
some
bit,
people.
a little bit, a little bit.
Well, it depends on whether you have a career or not. Like
that
if
too.
people have careers, it tells you a little bit about, but it's still not
But what do I really
all of what you are
there
or who
are
you are.
there are lawyers that are assholes and there are lawyers that are smaller assholes. But then there are doctors that are assholes, there are doctors that are compassionate and caring. Like there's so much more to the story. How do you think? What is your psyche like? Who are you mentally? Yeah, atheist doctors. There are some that are religious. Like it again, like your job title really doesn't tell you the meat and potatoes of who a person is.
It really doesn't. Well, not to me anyway. And I think people just use it as leverage to see
To
like
qualify and
they
quantify,
use it
like
as a litmus test
it's a litmus
to
test.
see whether you're above or below them.
And I'll tell you this. I know a lot of people, well, mainly a lot of men who make a lot of fucking money, who really don't give a shit about what you do because they got it. They got it. So I feel like I think that type of thinking actually may hurt women more because the type of women that I think a lot of women that lead with they want the men with in position and in power. Those men in positions in power, we don't give a fuck about what you do. Mostly, a lot of them don't, in my opinion. I know a lot of them opting out to go for the women that just look like good, that look cute.
They're not even dating Ebony's.
They
especially the black men. They get to.
I hate to say it.
They're
from what
not
I'm
even
seeing.
looking for Ebony, and Ebony is fabulous, a fabulous black woman. They ain't even looking for her, child.
Yeah. You trying to date on position. The men with the positions and the money you talking about.
It's an entirely different conversation.
I don't know if she's fabulous or not, but all I know is
she's an accomplished woman.
All I know is I want my black women to want whatever you want, just like everybody else wants whatever they want. And that's all it comes down to. Now, if you have to sit there and judge a bitch for what she wants, judge her. But
see how far it gets you. See how far it gets you.
See how far it gets you.
Yeah, but
black people always policing people.
Listen.
Always policing each other. I said what I said.
I'm gonna do what I do regardless, and chase after a man that look like me.
They ain't got nothing to do with
we know that.
That ain't say shit about what I'm gonna do, but no.
Not one damn thing.
Anyway, yes, that conversation is very nuanced. And it can, as you see, stir up a lot of passion. But that's why social media was divided the way that it was, because it kind of, and actually Ebony led with, she's like, I'm not gonna lie, when you said what you said, I felt like a hit dog was hollering. I felt attacked. She
and then Iyanla countered with, I was also masculine, like a man in a skirt. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
And she said, I was not a good mother, but I was a great father. Oh, look, let me laugh like Iyanla.
The interview was really good. I really would suggest everyone, if you can, it's only like 20 minutes. Take a look and take a listen. It's very interesting.
Don't watch that.
Ebony gets vulnerable on there.
Don't watch that Breakfast Club interview.
Yeah,
Iyanla,
crazy.
And Iyanla, neighbor. I love you, girl. You know that, don't you?
I love my neighbor in Silver Spring.
But I can point the finger at you and tell you when you black ass, dead ass wrong. And no matter what these two bitches say, you are. But guess what?
Not even like layers and percentage dead wrong, 100% wrong.
Nah.
I'm just asking so I can make them know exactly the state. Like, is it like 80% wrong, 100% wrong?
She knew where she was backing Ebony too. She does it all the time with those vapid ass hoes that was on the show that she had before.
Right, you know and it was nothing like
that. I know the formula. This is you don't have to have a rebuttal. This is my thing.
Iyanla Fix My Life is gone.
Yes, it is. But because of it, I know her recipe. Would you date a bus driver? you would you? But you know what? I'm with the shit.
Wasn't even a tone.
I'm with the shit though. You know, I ain't mad at my sister Lindsay, but she get on my fucking nerves tonight. It's fine. It's okay. We'll be over it by tomorrow.
I'm already over it. It's nothing. I'm fine.
No,
because it's Iyanla.
It's not even my personal
and Iyanla
attack.
Is terribly controversial and a little bit problematic at times.
Not in this instance. I disagreed with her 2 days ago, a couple of days. It's a few things that we were like posting in our group chat. I was like, I don't know if I agree with that.
Actually, remember when they did have that soundbite? If you don't mind me sharing this, when we originally saw that small clip, you was like, I don't know if I agree with Iyanla on here.
Who? Lindsay?
Lindsay said that. She was like, Ebony is an accomplished woman. She can request this. Why do black women have to look?
I had to watch the entire interview.
But yes,
and we had posted a few clips before that. I was like, no, ma'am, Iyanla, and I love Iyanla. No Virgo.
Yeah.
There was something else I disagreed with her on, but this instance, I was like, I need to see what just the Virgos were Virgoing. It was
Didn't
Ebony,
you say at first that you didn't
Iyanla,
want to watch
it
the
was
interview?
Mr. Envy. Too many Virgos. It
It
spoils
was
the dinner.
yes, definitely. But actually, when Iyanla was on the Breakfast Club, they asked her about her thoughts on how do you feel about transgender people,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, "I don't feel anything about it. It's not my experience." And but I like that she stuck with she doesn't know.
It's fine.
Okay to say you do
There was
not
no belittling. There
know.
was no denigrating someone else's experience. There was no dismissing their I don't know about it.
I don't know. Okay. Well, listen. I love
But
you.
I guess my
I love
only
you.
I'll take that over a bitch. You a man.
No,
I'll
I mean
yeah.
that's an extreme. I mean,
You
I think Iyanla
don't
knows
tell
something.
me you a man.
I think she knows something and doesn't want to comment.
Yeah,
But
because it could be taken. Well, listen.
Well,
no, don't say it.
she genuinely just does not know, and maybe she also has tried to understand and can't.
What do they mean by that question, though?
I know, right?
What is that
I
question?
think they were baiting
Hate
her.
her.
They were baiting the fuck out of her. But I don't, not necessarily because the conversation was surrounding like masculine and feminine and women and men. It was very binary and it wasn't really inclusive, in my opinion, of non-binary and genderqueer people. So I think it was kind of a valid question to ask.
But then again, we're talking about Charlemagne
But
and
the people that's asking it, you don't
uh-huh.
even have the fucking range.
Exactly. When she was on there with Ebony, they were taught like it was just a different vibe. Like they were
Yeah.
vibing. And I don't know, it was just a different vibe.
Well, you
Yana
know,
felt
all the Breakfast Club interviews are horrible.
well,
I don't know if I've seen one that's good, actually.
Oh, sidebar, do y'all like because didn't they hire an official host to replace Angela yet? Or no, they did not. I
well,
don't know.
they have these two young ladies there. I don't know who they are. They have they
Just
have a
hilarious.
podcast.
No?
Well, oh yeah, just hilarious.
What's
But
the her
in
that's
this
there?
particular one, yeah.
Oh, it's
I
getting
think
worse.
she is. But these two young ladies were from a podcast called Horrible Decisions.
I know that podcast actually.
Yeah.
They put Just Hilarious up there.
Well, I don't know. I was
I don't know if
actually
she's
kind of asking. I
permanent.
don't know if she's permanent either.
I don't
I
know if
hope
she's
not.
permanent.
I don't want to see her big nostril ass up there.
Oh my God.
You fucking trying it.
Why you had to go there?
Fucking
Just
trying it.
hilarious is like, now why am I?
And she's
where am I?
and she's a homophobe and a transphobe. That's what she is.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
Speaking
she
of
fit right in up there.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing.
Exactly.
One more thing. Because since we're talking about transphobia, did y'all see the news about the trans woman that was in it's YMCA bathroom? I'm sorry, locker room. She was undressing, and then someone trying to sue her for sexual assault. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And the charges was dropped. The judge decided that it couldn't be the case. And
Because she was too big. And
I was trying to leave that part out.
because she was too goddamn big and the fupa was covering the genitals.
But there was also someone else, like they had like a witness to corroborate with her account. It was a lot.
People
Are the straights okay?
No.
When I saw that the lady that was accusing her, one of the ladies was like, she wrote her a letter. She's like, yes, I knew she misgendered the lady. I've known that person for a long time.
Yeah, she was going in. She was like, I known
by her dead name.
Yes.
and for the last, then actually wrote her a letter.
Talking about she was praying for them.
I've been praying
like,
for you for in the last 6 months more than I ever have in the last 22 years. I'm looking, bitch. If you don't get, I wish the fuck somebody would write me a letter saying I've been
wish.
praying for you. You can shove your prayer right up your ass.
I want to say something, but I ain't gonna say it.
I want to say a lot of things, but I don't want to get canceled.
Exactly.
Sometimes it
That
ain't time to
lady
be
was
nice.
trying it
She was trying it.
beyond transphobic. I don't even know what you call that.
Transmesia.
Just a really despicable person.
Yes. Then here come the man talking about. He's like, what are your thoughts when people are going to criticize you all for being transphobic? He's like, well, I believe in the Bible and I believe in two genders, and you know, I also understand mental illness. Can I add that y'all are real selective from when y'all think mental illness actually exists?
Yes.
Oh, now it exists.
Black people.
Now it exists.
I don't have time.
Y'all get on my fucking nerves. Anywho, any last words that my lovely two co-hosts would like to add to the conversation or get off their titties? No. So, swallowers,
nope.
if you're going to be in the DC area for Pride during Memorial Day weekend, I encourage you all to come. It's known as Garcon Weekend. We will be hosting a party at Echo Stage that Saturday, an all-white party.
No deep love than pride.
Come the fuck out. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Also, a reminder that I will be giving out a free ticket. Free. Emphasis on free and emphasis on ticket because you're not getting a flight. To DragCon on Friday and Saturday.
Friday what?
Friday
May
the
12th?
12th. Wait, what is it?
Yeah.
Yes, Friday, May 12th.
Now.
And Saturday, May 13th. Free admission.
So your ticket is for both days?
I have a free
Word.
ticket for both days.
Word.
I might have two. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, word.
Really?
I do got two. So yeah. But in order to get the ticket, you know you're gonna have to give me a 5-star review, right? You know you're gonna have to subscribe to my YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
I ain't just giving out free shit to be giving out free
Exactly.
shit.
And Doja Cat has just announced the name of her new album. First of all.
Absolutely.
That's the name of it?
Yep.
She's a weirdo.
Follow us at HTS_podcast on Instagram and Twitter. If you like what you hear, buy us a motherfucking pill on Buy Me a Coffee.
Yes.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hard to Swallow Podcast. And then please, please, please give us a 5-star review on whichever platform you're listening to us on. Go check out Lyrical Mars video on Lyrical Mars YouTube channel. And yeah, that's all I have for you, swallowers. And until next time, sucking the dick of a bus driver.
Oh, yeah.
You know a bus driver got at least 10 to 12 inches.
I can't.
I've done that before.
He's been sitting down all day. I'm gonna make him get up.
And if he didn't drive a bus, fucking get into it, yeah.
Oh gosh.
If he can drive a bus, then I'ma ride him. Yeah.
What song is
So-
that?
I don't know. I just made that up.
Oh.
But
Good
yeah.
night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.